What's going on, family? I just want to say that having discernment in this age, in this time, is freaking crucial. The amount of fake crap, not just AI, but I mean, that is a major part of it, but all the fake crap. We already knew about dead internet theory, which is what 60% of the internet is mainly bots and like agendas being pushed by different governments and fake stuff and everything else, right? That was pre-AI. That was pre-AI stats. So with AI implemented into that and factored into that, and scammers, whether certain places in the Middle East that steer steer the opinion of the masses and push propaganda, whether it be our own government, whether it be bored individuals or agents of chaos, whether it be people looking for monetary gain, whether it be just people that are misinformed, or whatever, just feeding the thing that they're getting fed. There is so much fake crap on these damn phones that there's an experiment. Let me say this real quick. There's a thing called Alice in Wonderland that the CIA did. You can find it on the CIA's website in the archives about Alice in Wonderland experiment. Basically, we're all mad here, right? What they do is they create so much chatter to where your brain is a computer and it looks for closing the loops to get closure on different things, right? But if there's never a chance for closure because it's just constant chaos, ordo et chao, order from chaos, as they say and live by, there's so much going on that your brain, it's by the time it's trying to close this onto the next and this and this and this. So you're filling your head with babble, with noise, whether it be watching these and doom scrolling and it's like all these different things, to the point where you're forgetting your own memories and just the things that you're watching. Because like I said, your brain is a computer. When you go to sleep every night, it's like, those memories aren't important. He didn't really think about those. What was important? These things. So we're going to, etch those into the brain to make sure those are remembered. So whatever you focus on is the main thing that is going to be occupying your mind, whereas your memories, your family, your loved ones, things, your things that you actually would like to have your mind filled with, are going to be like a grainy, distant image. You know what I mean? Because we're filling our heads with meaningless babble, with chatter, with just nonsense, nonstop nonsense. And whether it be the entertainment side, whether it be all this political crap, whether it be the divide and conquer tactics, I see these stories like, okay, two things I'm gonna put into example real quick. And just as, my condolences to the family, if everything is what it is, then it's a freaking terrible tragedy, right? This kid Nolan or whatever, it's disgusting. Privileged, rich kids that, and that's the thing, you feel that rage, like these, whatever, rage bait is the main thing driving the internet. When we know that they constantly try to divide us by race, religion, everything else so they can conquer us more. You remember the American spirit when it didn't matter about none of that shit? We were Americans and we've stood up for each other's right to be Americans and have the fucking freedom to do the things that we want to do, right? And be who we want to be. Now it's like, oh, you're not like me, huh? Attack, attack, attack. It's because they filled our heads with this fucking chatter of divisive bullshit, splitting us up on every single level. So now I see automatically it's like, well, I never let my son hang out with a group of white people. Most of those are probably bots anyway, or people that, are already easily triggered and feed into that type of stuff because they know who they can target. They know who will unknowingly push their agenda and work for them. So whether this is an actual story, because there's a lot of stories online, like news stories that you look and it looks like it's a news article. The people look like they're all legit. And then when you actually start digging, none of those people actually existed. It's all just rage bait. And a lot of it comes from, like I said, other governments, our own government, special fucking chosen places in the Middle East. I'm trying not to get this video silenced. I'm the most censored shadow banned motherfucker on the internet. Look back, they even censored me on fucking Reddit. They muted my music on Reddit. They mute my shit everywhere. So yeah, there's a reason for that. And it's just making me want to speak even fucking louder. So fuck you to those watching, not you guys, but those up there in their little ivory towers watching down, trying to dictate what the fuck can be seen and heard and what can't. So they can eat a dick. And to my people, I love y'all, man. We got to get that American spirit back, and we got to stand up, stop letting this shit fill our heads, stop being divided by meaningless bullshit. Oh yeah, back to the other thing real quick. So this whole like Patriot Front shit, right, that I see happening. So generally when I see groups, large groups of people masked up or all wearing uniform stuff, automatically my mind goes to Fed. This is a, freaking a Fed type thing to try to create more problems and division and stuff like that. But then I start thinking, I'm like, is that programming for me? Because I try to question myself all the time. Like, is that me being programmed to automatically assume anytime people come together to, whatever, that the media is obviously going to make it and say it's a white thing and it's this. But the same way they did with the Proud Boys thing, if you look into that, I mean, only like a fraction of them were white. They were all types of races, Hispanics and everything else, right? Even their leader, I guess he was, I don't know what the situation, I didn't really look into all the deep stuff with that, but I'm just saying, they always paint it like it's a racial thing, but then when you actually look, it's like half of them aren't even fucking white. You know what I mean? What if these are actually people that have, or I mean, this is just new. I said, I don't know. It could be a complete operation. It could be, some people that are right with operatives in it, or it could be actual patriots that are like, we've got to do something, but the media is going to paint it as, because they don't want you to have a well-armed militia. They don't want you to have any of that. So if people are actually organizing offline to be able to, fucking save our country, save our world, then you already know the Khazarian-owned media is going to paint it as something that it's not, because they don't want that. So before you get all bent out of shape and in your emotions, remember that your emotions are the easiest thing to control. And they do it every chance they can get. So just be aware of that. Look at things and think for yourself and look at all the pieces and stop just, it's hard, man. It happens. I mean, it happens to all of us. When you see something, you feel that like, these motherfuckers. But then step outside of yourself and say, is this legit? Or is there some funny shit here? Because most of the time when you step back, there's some funny shit there. So just want to keep you guys, say that so that way you guys are aware and try to remember to look at everything, the big picture, and not just feed into your initial emotional charge, because that's what they feed off of. So that's it, man. Much love. Heaven, see you then out. Peace.